I'm your host of the Most Welcome 23, joining me for Desire Decorum, Book 1, Chapter 10. On your marks. At Mr. Marcoster's card game. You hold the urgent letter from your father in your hands, reading its words carefully. What's the latest from Edgewater? It's father, he's fallen ill. Excuse me, I need a moment. You rush outside, the cold night's air stinging your face. You lean against the townhouse, taking a few deep breaths. Can this really be happening? After a few minutes, the front door opens again, and your grandmother joins you outside. Miss Parsons informed me about the letter. What does it say, Bella? You hold up the letter and read it aloud. Dearest Bella, I mean to cause no alarm, but I desire to inform you of the news in my own hand before the story reached you from another. I write to say that I have been taken to bed with a chill. The doctor was initially concerned and it was becoming a fever, but I assured him, as I assure you, I will quickly recover. I only tell you this so that others do not cause you to fret over me. Please do not worry yourself, my darling daughter. Affection and esteem, Father. A fever sounds serious. Perhaps it would be best to go to him. My dear, my son is not worried, and neither am I. It would tell us if we should. Besides, we have that tough Cordonian blood flowing through us. Oh, that's the first time hearing about that. For now, you honor him best by trying to find a good match to secure your title. Lady Grandmother. You have a point. That's the last thing I wish to do. The last thing I wish to do. How can I smile and be cheerful about suitors when my father is ill? But my dear, what better distraction is there than a wealthy man fawning over you? Glare at your grandmother. Yes, the best thing we can do is to take your mind off of it, ideally somewhere you can be seen by London's finest. I know, the races. I may not be able to spend much time outdoors at my age, but your youth and complexion could easily handle it. The races. Indeed, I've heard whispers that Duke Richards would be in attendance. He was very eager to see you again. I am more worried about Father than the Duke. I'm interested in other people who might be there. I can't wait to see the horsies. Hey, little side note, Pixelberry. With Telltale Games, writer that was eclipsed you by God knows how much. You should perhaps, stop putting in derpy choices at this point. If they can fail, anyone can fail. Just saying. I'm interested in other people. Perhaps Mr. Sinclair, or Prince Amin, or Mr. Chambers. If I were in my prime, I'd be looking forward to seeing them as well. Suddenly the wind picks up and you shiver at the cold against your skin. Ah, but we can continue this another time. We should return to the party. On the day of the races. You're in your bedroom getting ready for the races when your grandmother enters, holding a spectacular blue and gold dress in her arms. I sent for this dress the moment you agreed to attend the event. It's the one I used to wear when I was the lady at the house. Don't worry, I'm sure we'll pay for it. It's gorgeous. Your grandmother hands you the dress, and you run your fingers over the delicate gold embroidery. No one would dare question my low birth in a gown like this. You know, Edgewater breeds and sells racehorses. We'll have quite a few of our lines represented there. I shall look forward to picking out our thoroughbreds from the stands. We'll have riders representing us in Edgewater's colors. I'm sure they'll be pleased to have you cheer for them. I am almost certain they win more races when they can see someone representing our estate. Who cares? You must try it on. Seeing you in a dress will give heart to all the jockeys. I'm certain of it. If you both insist. What did I just say? What did I just say, man? A dress that she's giving us. Just moving on. Where are the officer races? Increase your social standing and give a shit. Okay, so the only thing that's positive about this from a guy's standpoint is the fact it shows boobs. Aside from that, I don't really give a shit. What? I'm being honest. I'm serious. Let me go with no. Okay? A maiden fair. I'll enjoy the competition more in something comfortable. At least you would be showing the gentry your true colors, even if you aren't representing Edgewater. Don't give a shit about what I'm representing. Changed your mind? No, not even gonna read it. I don't give a shit. Come, let's go. We don't want to miss anything. Calm yourself, dear. It's best to arrive fashionably late, so all the suitors will be there when you make your entrance. Fair, though I'm still keen on seeing all the races. Very well. I can see your carriage downstairs. Off you go now. Not long after, you and Briar set off to the races. The two of you look out the window in anticipation. Perhaps a handsome jockey will take a liking to me, and we'll ride off into the sunset together. Look, quite literally, probably. Oh, Briar. Oh, Mr. Marcaster and Mr. Wood's not enough. Now you must flirt with some poor jockey as well. If it's true love, who could turn it down, away? You and Briar laugh uncontrollably, till you realize the carriage is not going to its normal place. Why have we slowed to a crawl? Suddenly, you come to a full stop. You pull back the curtain to look out. Oh my! The street is clogged with wagons and carriages for as far as I can see. Clearly all your eligible suitors rushed to the event when they heard you'd be attending. Suddenly, you hear a sharp knock on the door. You open it to find a familiar face beaming at you. Lady Bella. Prince Mead. Did you find me? My apologies for the intrusion. I saw Edgewater crest on your carriage, and I just had to come by. You know the crest? It is far too delicate to forget. Not unlike yourself. Briar lets out a small, excited squeal. You playfully push her arm. When I saw the road was blocked, I decided to walk. The day is too lovely to waste in a carriage. It looks as if it goes on for ages. I've never seen so many carriages. Yes, it's not good, but it makes the races seem all the more grand, no? Absolutely. I hadn't realized there were so many people in attendance. Perhaps we can see some of them together in Hyde Park. I was just about to take a shortcut through it to the races. Let me guess, diamond choice? Is that so? I bet it's quite lovely this time of year. A visit to London would not be complete without seeing it. I would never once come to London left without strolling through it. Briar leans over to murmur in your ear. I I can stay and make sure the carriage makes its way there, you should go. We could be here for hours. I know the park as if it were my map of the heart. I would be honored to show it to you, and spend some time with one another. Stroll through the park with the Prince of Eden, the exclusive scene, and spend time with him. Called it. You're about as predictable as any other game. Which is not a good thing for you, Pixelberry. It's not a good thing. Thank you for the offer, but I would prefer to ride today. I'll miss you terribly, but I understand. I shall bid you farewell for now, and see you later. Prince of Eden bows and closes the door. You faintly hear him whistling as he heads for the park. At the racetrack. It's so spectacular here. I wonder when the first race will begin. Approach the course, smiling wide as you hear the snorts and whines of the horses. You see Briar and Mr. Morrowcaster huddled close together by the track, standing close by the Viscount Westonleigh and Mr. Chambers, who are admiring the horses. Meanwhile, Miss Holloway is placing bets under one of the tents. No. You walk over to Miss Holloway and notice Miss Sutton by herself staring wide-eyed at the passing horses. Oh, look at them all. Miss Sutton leans in over the railing, drawing in the galloping creatures. Ah! Miss Sutton jumps back a few paces and returns to admiring the horses. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Miss Holloway hands money to a man in a brown suit. You walk over to her. Place it all on Bellington Hall. The man tips his hat and notes it down on a small journal. Miss Holloway notices you and looks you up and down. Come to watch Edgewater lose? Doubtful. I hear Edgewater Estate has some of the finest horses here. So naive, Lady Bella. Bellington Hall has yet to lose this year. We only breed the fastest horses. Is that so? Perhaps a friendly wager for the next race? Oh, could we not? Could we really not? We would have to be friends then. Well, then an unfriendly wager instead. Very well. Who do you wish to bet on? Why would I want to bet on Bellington Hall? I'm serious. Can anyone explain this to me? I'm serious. I'll bet on Edgewater Estate. £10 on Edgewater Estate to beat Bellington Hall. I'll wager the same for Bellington Hall to beat Edgewater Estate. Of course, though, I hate the thought of taking money from someone so new to it. As Holloway turns to focus on the track, you roll your eyes and watch as the jockeys and horses enter. May the best lady win. Oh, I will. Soon the starting flag is waved. The jockeys spring into action as their horses kick up the dirt down the ring. And they're off. The horses barrel down the track, galloping at full speed with their legs extended as far as they'll go. For the Earl. Show these peasants what Bellington Hall is worth. Horses finally reach the halfway point with Edgewater and Bellington neck and neck. Let me guess. We would have won had we worn the colors, right? Edgewater is pulling ahead. Enjoy it while it lasts. Our horses are bred exclusively to win. Your eyes are glued to the track as the horses turn the final corner and Bellington Hall horse pulls ahead just as they cross the finish line. What did I tell you? Bellington Hall never loses. Perhaps Edgewater will have better luck in the future. You were set to fail from the start. You should have bet on my estate to win. But then it wouldn't be a friendly wager. Like, no one would have won anything. I would never betray my estate for any amount of money. That is where we differ. Miss Holloway glares at you. I won't have you distracting me from the rest of the races. Miss Holloway turns on her heels and takes her to the stands. Well then, I'll see what others are up to instead. You turn and walk in the opposite direction of Miss Holloway. Oh boy. Let's just get this over with. At the stables we find Mr. Chambers and Viscount Westonleigh admiring the racehorses. Mr. Chambers bows when he sees you approach. Ah, Lady Bella, I come to admire the fine contenders as well. I have heard great talk of Edgewater's horses. As have I. It's thrilling to finally see them race. Glance over at Viscount Westonleigh, muttering to himself as he looks peculiarly at one of the horses. So this is what passes as a racehorse today. In my day, they were stronger, faster. Viscount Westonleigh, how do you do? Haven't seen you since the card game. Yard game? No, we last spoke at the card game. Do you not recall when Miss Parsons, Viscount sighs and shakes his head. But no matter, I have found the one. Oh, you found the fifth wife? Is it the horse? My lord, do you not mean the fifth? No, she's not a stiff. She's a spry young girl. I'm in talks with her family. Count Westonleigh leans in close, eyeing you lecherously. Unless you're offering, Lady Bella. Oh, God, no. Oh, no. Certainly not. Excuse me, I need to go somewhere that isn't here. Enjoy the races. Glad we got this over with. Frantically turn back to Mr. Chambers, but he's nowhere to be seen. You leave to search for him, but when you hear soft voices from behind the stands, you turn in the corner and see Mr. Kneva trail his fingers down Mr. Chambers' cheek, murmuring softly to him, I missed you yesterday. As did I. I can't wait to see you tonight. Is there anything else new about their romance? We get it. They're doing it in hiding and secret. Mr. Chambers cups Mr. Knieva's face in his hands and suddenly kisses him passionately. Oh! Mr. Chambers and Mr. Kneva spot you and hastily distance themselves from each other. Mr. Chambers straightens his jacket, his cheeks turning red. Lady Bella, whatever you thought you saw just now, I hope I can count on your discretion in all of this. Mr. Chambers, can you promise me in return? Oh, yeah, my word. I've been known to be very discreet when needed. Plus, I mean, we kiss the same sex as well. Perhaps we should have tea together. Thank you, Lady Bella. And please know you can depend upon me to return the favor should the need ever arise. Mr. Kneva nods to you and whispers in Mr. Chambers' ear. You curtsy and return to your races. As you glance back, you catch Mr. Kneva pull Mr. Chambers towards the stables. Well, we know what happens in stables. Briar and Mr. Marlcaster by the track. You'll go to find Briar and Mr. Marlcaster by the track. Their eyes are intent on each other, not watching the horses at all, not noticing your presence. Mother always says it's in my best interest to focus on the prize-winning horses, ones that will secure a good claim for the family. As I'm certain someone of your stature must. Though I must find myself a much more charmed by a new horse. Oh? Yes, I find this new horse to be irresistible. Marlcaster gently twines his fingers around Briar's. The new horse certainly enjoys your attention. You refer to a woman as a fucking horse, dude? Wow, you're real goddamn smooth. Mr. Marlcaster. I don't care. How about this? I just don't care. He flirts with anything that walks, talks, and is female. That is, Marlcaster catches Briar's eyes, his cheeks turning red. Just a simple observation. Carry on. A jockey in navy and gold flies past you, paying no attention to your group. Wasn't that an Edgewater rider? Yes, I believe so. How exciting. They usually wave if they see the estate colors, but none of us remembered. Uh-huh. You all turn your eyes to the ring and watch as the next race starts. You can see Mr. Marlcaster playing with Briar's hair in the corner of your eye. Mr. Marlcaster, won't you let Briar alone till he enjoy the rest of it? Won't you let Briar more? Tell her more about the horses. I hear you are knowledgeable about them. Oh, yes, I am. I love to learn about them. A particular one horse. Marlcaster looks to Briar and blushes. Briar squeezes his hand. I'll leave you two to be. Please. You hear Briar and Mr. Marlcaster return to giggling as you leave them to explore more of the event. A while later. You finally make your way to the box seats to join several familiar faces, but the only open seat is next to the Duke Richards. Before you can search for another spot, the Duke waves you over to him. Lady Bella, excellent timing. I was about to give up the seat I had saved for you. You really did not need to save a place for me. I know. I'm incredibly thoughtful. You're welcome, my lady. Or you can refuse him. The Duke pulls you down to sit in the open spot. Lady Bella, I swear the sight of you makes all other women disappear. Your Grace, thanks, but you shouldn't say such things. It must be odd to only see half the stands. Oh, I want to do it. I wish you could disappear. Thank you, but you shouldn't say such things. Duke Richards reaches for your hand, which you quickly shove behind your back. I cannot help myself when I am in your presence. Duke Richards leans closer to you, whispering in your ear, if you don't want me to say such things, you should try to be less alluring. I'd like to focus on the event now. Oh, yes, how rude of me. I'm sure you've never been to anything like this before. Let me explain. No need to explain. It's not that hard to follow. Jockeys take their places on the line, you see. I'll just tune him out. Perhaps we can simply watch the races instead of talking through them. Come now. I don't want the entertainment to be lost on you. The lady would like to watch your Grace. Turning around to see Mr. Sinclair entering the stands. Yes, I would. I only wish for Lady Bella to have the best experience possible. So you would close your mouth then? And then you won't mind if she accompanies me somewhere more accommodating. A quiet place to watch the races does sound ideal right now. For the low cost of diamonds? Question mark? I kept this seat specifically for Lady Bella. I never asked you to do such a thing. We should let the lady decide for herself. Suddenly a mischievous grin spreads across the Duke's face. I have a better idea. You and me on the track. Whoever comes in first wins the company of Lady Bella for the day. I am not some prize you can offer. Indeed. I'll not discuss this any longer. Mr. Sinclair offers you his arm, and you're about to take it when Duke Richard shoots out of his seat and pushes Mr. Sinclair's arm away. Your Grace, Lady Bella should get a fair chance to watch. The Duke turns his fury on Mr. Marlcaster. Mr. Marlcaster, you choose now to speak up. How very interesting, seeing as there is not enough space for everyone in this box. Perhaps we should race for our seats. Mr. Marlcaster, beware of your words. I'll take on you and any other man who thinks he can best me. Mr. Mulcaster stares at the Duke in shock. Prince Hamid's eyes light up. I would be up for racing. It sounds like fun. And you, Mr. Mulcaster, are you man enough to face me? Don't let him goad you like this. Mr. Mulcaster swallows hard and nods. Mr. Sinclair takes Duke Richard's seat as the man leads Mr. Mulcaster and Prince Hamid down to the starting line. This is so goddamn stupid. The men mount their horses, and before anyone can object, they take off, barreling down the track. Briar rushes up to join you at the railing, looking terrified. Mr. Mulcaster's racing, but he has no training. The Duke just wanted to cause trouble. Mr. Mulcaster never should have been involved. I agree, and I don't know why he is. Yeah, yeah! Yeah, faster now! Briar grabs your hand. You feel her trembling as her eyes never waver from the race. Why is he in the race again? I don't understand. This is stupid. I can't bear to watch, Bella. And yet your eyes are glued to Mr. Mulcaster. Whoa, Diamond. They're halfway through. It's so close. Oh dear. What do you think will win? Jesus God, why? So, Duke Richards will win. Why? Who? What? Let me know in the comments section if you pick Duke Richards. I need to know why. Like, do you have an infection in which you can't see the screen and you just accidentally clicked it? Mr. Mulcaster will win. Eh? So, excuse me. Again, I don't know why Mr. Mulcaster is even in this. I don't understand. Prince Hamid, I mean, is very native to horses and things like that, so that's why I think he's very experienced. Mr. Mulcaster, again, who the hell would pick him? I get it if you're picking him because you want to support your house. However, I'm going to go with quote-unquote a love interest. He's the only one having fun. As the man round the last corner, Mr. Mulcaster tries to pull ahead of the Duke, but takes a turn too quickly and Duke Richards cuts him off. Ha! You won't win. Ah! Mr. Mulcaster's horse sheaves back and stumbles, crashing heavily into the fence. The horse's leg turns with an audible snap, and they both sprawl across the dirt. Great, so you screwed up our horse. Good job. No! Briar and Miss Sutton are already out of their seats, running for the track as the Duke Richards crosses the finish line in first place. You stand frozen in shock by the railing. The Duke trots around doing a victory lap while Mr. Mulcaster remains on the ground. Mr. Sinclair hisses beside you. The fool. You'd be lucky if he didn't break his neck. The Duke. This is all Duke Richards' fault. This is Mr. Mulcaster's fault for getting involved. Prince Hamid's horse crosses the finish line a moment later. He smiles, but his face quickly falls as he sees Mr. Mulcaster motionless on the ground. The prince leaps off the horse and runs over. Good sir, speak to me. Are you injured? Come now, where's my victory praise? No one gives a shit. The Duke is bowing and waving his eyes on the stands. I hope he isn't injured. That looked like a nasty fall. Mr. Mulcaster sits upright, holding his head. At least he's moving. Fortune favors him. Mr. Sinclair lets out a long sigh as he turns his attention towards the Duke, who is bragging to the onlookers about his victory. I'm more concerned now about the fucking horse. I don't give a shit about the Duke. Excuse me, Lady Bella. I can no longer stomach this advent. They send Mr. Mulcaster my best wishes. I'll pass your lengthy best wishes along. As Mr. Sinclair storms off, you rush on to the racetrack, where Briar and Miss Sutton both hover over Mr. Mulcaster. Prince Hamid helps Mr. Mulcaster to his feet, and Briar swoops in to help on his other side. You madman! How could you let the Duke make you risk yourself like that? I'm unhurt, just A little shaken. Yeah, screw the horse, though. Only a little shaken. You're lucky your body isn't completely crumpled. Briar starts dusting off Mr. Carl Castor's clothes. What are you doing? Aren't you Lady Bella's maid? I just... she only... Briar was just trying to help. But why? She has no loyalty to him. Neither do you to Mr. Moralcaster, but I digress. Briar blushes and steps away from Mr. Moralcaster, making room for Miss Sutton to fawn over him. I'm glad you're unhurt, sir. I'll leave you and your lady alone now. Briar scampers off, and you turn your attention to the small crowd of people gathered next to you. Diamond walks around slowly, avoiding putting weight on her front right leg. Poor girl. Harper emerges from the crowd and slowly approaches the mare, eyeing her leg. Is it broken? No. Looks like a boat tendon. She'll be fine, but needs immediate care if she's to race again. Harper gently runs his fingers along the back of the Diamond's leg to confirm her injury. She flinches. Watch out! Oh, girl. I'll need an extra pair of hands to steady Diamond while I work on her leg. Harper turns to the people in the crowd, but they avoid his pleading gaze. He finally looks to you. Lady Bella, will you help me? Me? But you don't think a groom could better assist you? I've seen how calm and the horses are around you. You have a gift. There's no one else I would rather have. Plus, I would not say no to more time with you for diamonds. Well? Glance at Diamond and see the desperation in her eyes. Follow Mr. Harper to the stables for the use of sane, help him to the Diamond, and help to improve your relationship, which... Really, does anyone have a relationship with this guy? There's been like 2 diamond choices with him. We hardly ever have any time with him. Like, I mean, while it would be quaint, it's just forced. Thank you, Mr. Harper, but I don't have vast knowledge of horses and wouldn't want to get in the way. Though I have the utmost confidence in your abilities. Thank you, Lady Bella. I understand. As you take to your carriage, Mr. Harper calls for a groom, and they soothingly lead Diamond to the stables. Later that night, you come down from your rooms and see Mr. Moralcaster reading letters while Miss Sutton flits around him. Mr. Moralcaster, should you really be reading with all your injuries? I don't want you hurting your head more. I'm fine, Miss Sutton, just... You feel feverish. Where are your aches? Yeah, he's gonna get a favor from a fall. Sweet God. Sutton puts one hand on Mr. Moralcaster's forehead, feeling for a fever. Pats it down his side with the other. Oh, I know something that will cheer you up. I've been thinking about where our wedding should be. First, I wanted at my home, and then I was thinking at a church. But would it be my church or your church? Anyway, I've decided we should marry at Edgewater. Oh. When is the wedding? How's a man to think with all this blather? Moralcaster storms out of the room, clutching his head. Miss Sutton turns to you, pouting. Oh, he never wants to discuss our wedding. I don't understand why. Because he doesn't want to get married. Surely it will be after the season. We've already put in off for 2 years. We must make some plan soon. What does the Countess say about the wedding? She's usually the only one who delays it. That's because... I don't want to be that brutal. Mr. Moralcaster would never stoop to marrying someone like you. Ugh, that is hurtful. Very truthful, but also very hurtful. I Countess Henrietta's leading you on. I beg your pardon? I've seen Mr. Moralcaster flirting with Miss Holloway. No, I don't know anything for certain, but we both know the Countess has ambitions for Mr. Moralcaster, and she's the one delaying the wedding. What? What are you saying? I think she may be stringing you along until she finds Mr. Moralcaster a more advantageous match. Truly? You nod, and Miss Sutton's lips start to quiver. She throws her arms around you and lets out a wail. I should have forced Mr. Moralcaster to set dates years ago. Thank you for telling me this, Lady Bella. I think you're my only true friend. Oh, God help me. You deserve to know the truth, Miss Sutton. As long as it advantageously helps us, right? She untangles herself from you and gives you a forced smile before leaving the drawing room. The next evening. You're in the parlor, embroidering with your grandmother. She studies your hand as you guide your needle through the fabric. You're well on your way to becoming an accomplished lady. You should surpass Miss Holloway in her studies in no time. Is that why every lady practices her embroidering to surpass Miss Holloway's of the season? Share a laugh with your grandmother. I never did ask how you enjoyed the races yesterday. I hear Edgewater's horses made quite the showing, though. Yes, one almost snapped its leg in half. Well, it was something else. But I enjoyed the competition, the company, the horses. Our company really sucked, unless you mean the other people that came along. The competition was annoying as all hell. I'm gonna go with horses, they're pretty. I adored watching them compete. They're so fast, they made the sands tremble. Yes, my dear, that's all very well. But I also heard you sat beside Duke Richards, begrudgingly. Lady Grandmother, you cannot keep throwing me at the Duke. It's unseemly. Did you know he nearly killed Mr. Moralcaster while showing off? I'm sure his grace had... But before the Dowager Countess can utter another word, Mr. Woods enters and hands your grandmother a letter. 1,000 apologies, my lady. A message just arrived from Edgewater. Thank you, Woods. That will be all. I wonder what news comes at this time. Grandmother Woods stopped short, the color draining from her face. Lady Grandmother, what is it? Her hands shake as she hands you the parchment. Let me guess, your father's dead. Dowager Countess Dominique of Edgewater, I'm sorry to inform you that the girl's illness has grown more severe. He has come down with yellow fever. I fear there is not much time left. Urge you to come to Edgewater at once. Godspeed on your travels. Your humble servant, Dr. Kerrigan. Your yellow fever, which back then was very fatal. You gasp and hold the letter to your heart, your grandmother still stunned into silence. Father. Let me guess. Next time on Desire Decorum, with your father's health fading fast, will you return to Edgewater in time to see him, or will someone stand in your way? Probably the Countess. Which makes you wonder, is it truly yellow fever, or is it poisoning? That being said, I hope you all did enjoy the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe if you're not already. Also, head down the description below, links to social media, our Discord, where you can come hang out with me, as well as many others, as well as a link to our Twitch, where you can watch live streams of Choices every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, as well as live streams of other games as well. And tomorrow is the, I guess you could call it the finale of Telltale's The Walking Dead, Episode 2. Still on the fence about it. I don't know if they're going to just release it as is and also free to everyone, or if they're going to force you to purchase it, which then I'm not going to do. I will not support a company that pretty much up until less than 2 weeks ago was hiring employees, having them move clear across the country, and then close their doors just on the 21st. They closed their doors, firing all of but 25 employees, canceling, in case you guys live under a rock. The rest of The Walking Dead, all of their other projects, such as Wolf Among Us 2, etc. So in case you guys didn't know, yes, Telltale Games is no more. So for chapters, like episodic things such as Choices, Chapters, and other games and game companies, it's kind of shaken, especially since Telltale Games delivered such great games. Not all the great games, but great games that we do remember. You know, we do think Telltale Games. Um, it's shaken the community to the core. I don't think many people are going to be purchasing many episodic things here in the near future, especially what has happened. And I am one of those people who actually will not. Um, Life is Strange 2, I at least know is reliable, and their company is very sound, and they aren't going to have any issues, and they're also not being sued by people, so it's one of the reasons why we will be covering their game on the 27th live on Twitch, so look forward to that. Without further ado, thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you all in the next video. Peace.